What's going on, everybody? So I love putting out YouTube videos, but I must say it took a lot of motivation here to get this one going. So it's probably 32 degrees freezing here. I'm at the Northern High School track, home of one of the best high school track stars of all time. Marley Starper currently goes to NC State and is running cross country and track there. But what we're going to do here today is see which carbon fiber plate shoe is the fastest. So we got Endorphin Speed, we got the Alpha Fly, we got the Next Percent 2, we got the 4% as well. So stay tuned. We're going to enjoy this one, and it's going to hurt a little bit, but here we go. A little bit about the prep going into this one. So other people putting out this type of YouTube video, and they ran mile repeats but on different days. You can't go by that because your legs are not the same freshness each day. So I did do a baseline test, and a couple weeks ago I ran 4 mile repeats in the Saucony's right here, and just established a pace that I knew I could repeat for 4 straight miles. So that at that day, and again it was 50 degrees that day, and I was running in shorts, but I was able to maintain a 5:50 to 6-minute mile pace. So I have that extra data again just going into this test today, just to try to make it a little more accurate. So what we want to do is just see if we could identify any data trend to see if any of these shoes are better than each other there. You know what's crazy is I got $1,000 worth of shoes here. So I did a 2-mile warm-up in the Invincibles, and then, as you know, if you ever bought any of these shoes, they start like $275 whenever they first come out. I didn't pay as much for the Pros. I got them on Running Warehouse after the fact, but just crazy how much shoes are here. All right, so I'm going to start doing the first mile in the Saucony Endorphin Pros. When I first got this shoe, I didn't like it. Very stiff. And it made my legs sore. Like I did a 10-mile run and just crushed my legs. But the shoe has grown on me. I would say, I don't know, put up on the screen how many miles I have on each shoe. But the more miles I put into the shoe, the more it loosens up, and the more I like it. But what I use this shoe for is to do track workouts and hill repeats. Again, just because it's not good for a long run because it crushes my legs, just because of how stiff it is. But so we'll see how we go here, see if I can maintain a 6-minute pace for the first one. Alright, I grabbed the Alpha Flies next. If you're a subscriber to my YouTube channel, you know I hate the Alpha Flies. Alright, for the next mile, I'm going with the Nike Next Percent 2. I don't know, I don't have anything. It's not, I thought that this is like the most popular shoe for everybody. I never say I broke any records in this shoe. It's good, it's not bad. But we'll see how we do in this one.
I need something way more than viral. I need something way more than viral. Gotta be something way more than idol.
Alright, interesting with the Next Percents. I love the way they felt, but man, I had to push the last quarter mile just to get 5:56 pace, so I don't know. Alright, we got the Nike 4% next. This is my all-time favorite shoe, and leave it up to Nike not to make them anymore, but Nike started out with this shoe, first carbon fiber plate. I loved it. They discontinued it. Then the 4% was the next model after this one. Very responsive, very soft. It just doesn't have durable material on the bottom, and it wears out. So I still use about 2 pair of 4%. I still use them for triathlon today. Be careful not to get too close. I might just go. All right, something like 5:52, 5:53 pace. these shoes do have a ton of miles on, almost 200 to put up on the screen. So lost a little bit of bounce, but if these were a little bit fresher, they definitely would have been the fastest shoes, but they don't make them anymore. But I'm going to go ahead and do a mile warm down, go back to the studio, give my final thoughts. What's going on, everybody? I'm back in the studio. I tried to quickly recover with some Cocoa Elite protein. Drink protein after every workout and before I go to bed. Let me just quickly summarize how I liked each shoe. How did it perform while I was out there? So starting with the one, it's weird. The most popular shoe out there, the Nike Next Percents 2, was the one that performed the worst for me. So I liked the way it felt. It felt light. It just did not have any responsiveness in there and ran the slowest time in it. Coming in next, however, very similar time. The shoe is growing on me. It takes plenty of miles to break the shoe in. It is very stiff. So you can see it's hard to even flex yet. So it is getting better as I put more miles in it. I would probably use this shoe for 1 mile repeats, and that's what I'd use it for. As opposed to, I wouldn't want to run a 10K or a half marathon or a marathon in this shoe. Alright, coming in next in second place is the Alpha Flies. I hate the shoe. I did a negative shoe review on it. However, it's growing on me. The more miles you put into it, the better it gets. And that's because this foot pod here in the front needs to break in. It is very stiff. But the more you break that in, the faster it gets. So I felt in this shoe, I was able to, I call it a floating feeling. I was able to go in a perception of a pace a little less than a threshold, like a tempo pace, and just float there, just because of all the responsiveness it has. And my favorite shoe, unfortunately they don't make it anymore, is the Nike 4%. So it is very soft, and it is very springy. Look at that. And I have tons of miles in the shoe. Imagine if I still, if I had a new pair, probably run even faster. But this is still my favorite shoe. So Nike, if you're listening out there, bring this shoe back. I don't know why I ever got rid of this shoe. I remember my personal best, I'd say 10K, half marathon, and marathon is in this shoe. Whenever this shoe first came out, everybody had this shoe at the start line. So, consider bringing this shoe back. You can tell I have an engineering degree. I love data, so let me explain this to you. We got the Saucony Endorphin Pros, the Alpha Flies, the Next Percent 2, and the Nike 4%. So the first 4 mile splits on here was my base run from a couple weeks ago. And then today's run was mile 1, 2, 3, and 4. So interesting, I had 5:57 pace and 5:57 pace in the pros for that first lap. So very good baseline data. You could see my heart rate was 8 beats per minute lower, and I also had low heart rates for the rest of the splits today. So what that tells me was, because it's very cold, it was hard to get my heart rate up today. That's what that's telling you. Got the number of miles I have on each shoe down here at the bottom. So the fastest shoe ended up being the Nike 4%, and it has 157 miles. The shoe is pretty beaten because it had so many miles on it, but by the data, the 4% were the fastest. Next is the Alpha Flies, and then I'd say the Pros and the Nike 2% are pretty much tied for third. But interesting, everybody loves the Next Percent 2s. It's never done anything for me, and the data's showing here that it was very hard to run a fast pace in Next Percent 2s. All right, there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. So probably my next athletic video will be, I plan on running the New Year's Day 10K City Island in Harrisburg. I think I want it back-to-back years. So I'm looking to rebound from poor performances at the last 2 marathons. I guess I had an okay 5K for the Turkey Trot. However, that was like 1 week after a marathon. My legs were still sore. So I know I could run faster if I was on fresher legs. So looking forward to seeing everybody out there in Harrisburg. Have a good one. Please hit the like and subscribe button for me.